This week on Channel 8 News, we'll take a look at a local house fire, a blood drive, state politics, and more. Channel 8 News starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to Channel 8 News. I'm Whitney Ice.
And I'm Madeline Mosbauer.
There was a local house fire in Maryville. Brianna Wesley was on the scene. Brianna?
Last Friday, I was able to get an interview with volunteer firefighter Matt Johnson.
About 7 years ago, I wanted an opportunity to get back to my community, and also I was looking for an outlet that was a little more adventurous than possibly teaching.
During this sit-down, I was able to get information about the house fire that occurred last weekend. The fire happened on North Walnut Street.
It happened around noonish. By the time that the call came in, there was visible flames coming out of the house, so it was a very significant event. We had one truck roll out, and that first truck that rolls out, you've got at least 3 people on that truck. So one person would run the pumper, and then you'd have 2 firefighters that would go interior. Those first 2 firefighters arrive on scene, made entry, and there was a higher sense of urgency because it wasn't clear if the house had people live in it or not. So those 2 gentlemen knocked the fire down as quickly as they could to take out some of the heat so that other people could go in to do some search and rescue. Another truck arrived, and they started hooking up to provide another line just in case, so we could go an interior attack as well as an exterior attack.
Although they don't know the cause of the fire, it is still under investigation. This was Brianna Wesley reporting for Channel 8 News.
Thanks, Brianna.
Northwest President of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, Dr. Juanita Simmons, has stepped down from her position. Dr. Simmons' departure is effective Monday, and University Police Chief Clarence Green will serve as the interim Vice President of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion on a project-based manner until June 30th. Green has been challenged with the tasks of continuing to strengthen the culture of diversity, equity, and inclusion at Northwest. He will also analyze the structure of the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, recommending potential changes. Dr. Simmons has left due to family reasons.
When we get back, we'll take a look at what's happening in state politics. Don't go away.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. I'm Madeline Mosbauer.
And I'm Whitney Ice.
Hallie Cornelius got the chance to sit down with our local correspondent in Jefferson City to talk about state politics. Hallie?
We're introducing a new segment this semester where we're talking about Missouri state politics. I'm Hallie Cornelius, and with me we have Molly Gardner. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Despite the cold weather, I'm doing good. So I heard you're spending some time in Jefferson City. What exactly are you doing there?
Right. So I'm interning in the Missouri House of Representatives. And in the Missouri House of Representatives, I file a lot of bills. I filed 2 last week. I attend session where we hear bills that are going to potentially become law and perfect those bills and also amend them and see how they can become better and clarify them a bit, as well as write amendments to bills. So like I said, I filed 2 bills last week. I also can write amendments to those bills and try to make them as perfect as they can. I also write a weekly newsletter for what I did over the week, especially for the person that I represent. Her name is Gina Mitten. She represents St. Louis County and St. Louis City. So I follow her around a lot. And I also attend committee hearings. There's 3 big committee hearings I attend. I attend rules, judiciary, and insurance. So in rules, we hear a lot of bills that are kind of on the fence and see how they can become better. They either go into legislative rules or administrative rules, and I deal with a lot of them that go into administrative rules to, again, see how they can become better and see how they can affect the state as a whole. Judiciary is a lot of lawyer talk, so we attend those, and usually it's about someone who had sued something or someone about a certain topic, and so we'll write a bill trying to make that topic better and hopefully make people not sue people as much. And then I also attend insurance, and that's pretty straightforward.
There's a bill that would allow the state of Missouri to have a prescription drug monitoring system. What is that all about?
So Missouri is the only state that does not have a prescription drug monitoring program. They are the last state to have this. There's a few counties that have a system. So overall, the system would track drugs and where they go. So if I had a surgery and I needed oxycodone, they would keep that in the system to see how often I would use that drug. Now they have important drugs in that system. They have like fentanyl, oxycodone, a lot of codeine drugs, but they do not have medical marijuana listed in it, which is a type 1 drug, but all the other drugs that they have listed are type 2 and 3. So marijuana is the top tier drug, so they're trying to see if there's any way that they can include marijuana in it.
So, are there any other bills worth noting?
There's another bill that's been going around a lot this week that wants to protect children in the sex trafficking industry and make sure that they have a happy life after they get out of the system, or that they have a lawyer if they become addicted to drugs after they get out of the system. Just overall protecting that victim of child sex trafficking. And then there's another bill that I've been following quite a bit. I like to call the coroner's bill. Essentially, if you want to be a coroner, you do not have to have any qualifications. You can literally go up to the office and be like, I want to become a coroner, and you are elected into office. So you don't need any medical background history, which is really important if you want to pronounce a body dead. There was a hearing we heard from a family where they had a son who passed away, and on his autopsy report it said that he had passed away from a drug overdose. But once they did a toxicology report, there was no drugs in his system. So the coroner was in a lot of trouble for that. So they're trying to figure out the best way to make sure that someone has a license to pronounce a body dead.
Well, thank you for joining me this week, Molly, and talking about everything that is happening in the Missouri legislature. Great Northwest Days takes place this week at the Capitol, and if you're interested in attending, be sure to check out greatnorthwestday.com. Thank you for joining me this week, Molly, and we'll see you in a few weeks. Back to you, Madeline and Whitney.
Thanks, Hallie.
It's great to see what's happening firsthand in the Capitol.
It sure is. Plus, with the Great Northwest Day, anybody who's interested can attend, as well as witness firsthand what it's like in the Capitol.
Like Hallie said, just check out greatnorthwestday.com, and when we get back, we'll have more local news and events. Don't go away. Welcome back to Channel 8 News. I'm Whitney Ice.
And I'm Madeline Mosbauer.
As temperatures dropped, Joey Shear checked in on the animals around campus and how they handled the cold. Joey?
This past week, temperatures hit negative, but a local organization banded together to take care of the feral cats on campus, despite the bitter cold.
Club is Northwest Advocates for Animal Awareness, and we do just that. We advocate for animals. Probably the biggest thing that we do is making sure the campus cats are taken care of. We have 5 official cats in the TNR program, and then several that we're still looking to trap, and then 3 official cat stations on campus. I know some people walk past me when I'm feeding the cats and they probably don't know what I'm doing, and they see me like crouching in the bushes. So just know that there are a couple cat stations on campus. If you see people walking off and talking to cats, they're doing it for a reason. And if you would like to help take care of the cats, you can join our club. Look at the information on the poster behind me, but please don't take it upon yourself to give the cats food, because we are taking care of that. They are feral. They grew up and usually were born outdoors. Some of them might have been kicked out of homes, but most of them have been outside for so long that to put them in homes wouldn't really be the best option for them. They'd be very unhappy. So really the best thing for them is to allow them to stay where they would like to stay, but just make sure that they have the care that they need.
This has been Joey Shear reporting for Channel 8 News.
Thanks, Joey.
Many events were canceled last week because of the freezing temperatures. One of those events was the blood drive. Alex Paulskill was able to see how the student council handled the cold despite having planned for the blood drive. Alex?
Last week, Student Senate sponsored its annual winter blood drive. Unfortunately, due to inclement weather conditions, the drive was canceled. It will be running again this April, where students, faculty, and community members are invited to donate blood here on campus. I got to chat with Civic Service co-chair member Drake Summers about the preparation for the event.
Our blood drives are actually scheduled more than a year in advance. So these blood drives that me and Arpana have done this academic year actually were planned by the previous chair and co-chair of Civic Service more than a year ago. So the blood drives are set way in advance, hoping that they will stay on schedule.
Student Senate coordinates with the Community Blood Center, the primary blood supplier in the region.
In our actual dealings with the Community Blood Center, it's mostly just communication between me, Arpana, and our representative from Community Blood Center named Betty. And it's mostly just in emails, making sure we have a venue, we're doing publicity. We've tried this year to promote more on social media than we have in the past, just making sure that it's on everyone's calendars, making sure that we're reminding people every couple of days, that kind of thing. But also print promotions works pretty well, just like you see here that we're doing the signs to post around campus. The blood drive is great for the community. We love working with Community Blood Center specifically because they donate to local hospitals. So everything stays really local, and that's kind of what we're trying to do, is help local community, especially just here in Maryville.
Reporting for KNWT Channel 8, I'm Alex Paulskill.
Thanks, Alex. Well, that's all the time we have for Channel 8 News.
For stories that matter to you, catch Channel 8 News every Monday through Thursday at 6:15 p.m. right here on KNWT Channel 8.
Northwest Sessions is up next. From all of us here at Channel 8 News, I'm Madeline Mosbauer.
And I'm Whitney Ice. Have a great night.